Hey, doing right? Good to see you. All right. Good, perfect.
You can't draw on this, so just go and say it.
I got you. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? You guys all ready? All right. Good morning. Welcome to the town of Huntington. Time, tide, and formation, and press conferences wait for nobody. So here we go. I want to welcome everybody to the town of Huntington for the unveiling of $1 million coming to the town of Huntington. You know, when I first got elected, and I was telling Ed Smith how much I loved the town of Huntington. He says, "Nick, I know you do, but I want you to come back and show me the money." So here we are. We're showing Ed the money, showing the money to the town of Huntington as well. Key environmental infrastructure projects that are worthy of our federal infrastructure investment, things that Washington ought to be doing for my constituents, our constituents here in the town of Huntington. Can't do it without these folks beside and behind me. These are strong advocates for the community to ensure that the town of Huntington remains a great place to live, work, and raise a family. It's Ed Romaine saying that we should make Suffolk safer and more affordable. And we're following Ed Romaine's lead, and the county executive is here with us today. Give him a round of applause, please. Also, of course, is the town of Huntington supervisor, Ed Smith, with his colleagues. He's going to introduce, because he asked me to make sure that he gets to introduce his colleagues on the town board. So we're going to save those folks for when Ed Smith speaks. But Senator Mario Matera, let's give him a round of applause, please. Mario's doing a heck of a job representing our common constituents, both in the town of Huntington and Smithtown, ensuring that Albany gets its act together to help us here out more on Long Island. Assemblyman Keith Brown is also with us as well. He's doing a heck of a job in the town of Huntington, fighting for our residents. Huntington Mayor Mark Dara is with us. Mr. Mayor, congratulations on your recent election, sir. And come on up, sir. Come on. No, not at all. So when I speak to my constituents, you know, sometimes the conversation goes to the big picture issues, things about the border, things about our standing internationally, things about fighting inflation. And those are issues worthy of Washington's attention. And sometimes the two parties are at odds on solutions to those issues. But where I think that we can all agree is that Washington should be doing more for Long Island. Long Island should be getting its fair share of our federal tax dollars. Unfortunately, every dollar we send to Washington, we get a mere 85 cents back in return. And folks like Representatives Diaz-Bazito and Garbri and I, we're fighting to ensure that we bring home more bacon to our districts so that life is more affordable here on Long Island. And we're able to bring home that money sometimes in relatively small pieces, though I don't think we should ever consider $1 million small. It is a worthwhile investment that we're making here today in the town of Huntington. But we're able to bring home that money to make life more affordable, to make our quality of life better here. Too many of our neighbors are leaving Long Island for places like the Carolinas, like Florida, even nowadays Texas, where people view there to be greener pastures. We want to keep our folks here. If you look behind me, not just as these beautiful elected officials behind me, but further behind them is a beautiful landscape that is typical of Long Island. We're a nice waterfront, beautiful, vibrant community that we ought to want to ensure that our people get to stay here at. Now, one of the ways we do that is we offset some of the expensive cost of living that we have here on Long Island. And $1 million that we brought home here today will help do that, because it's less money that the Huntington Town Supervisor and his board have to tax his residents. And I know that you guys are in the business of ensuring that taxes remain low. And I see the deputy supervisor here, he's nodding his head, that taxes remain low here in the town of Huntington. That's what we want for our residents as well. And the $1 million that we're going to invest here in the town of Huntington helps us do that. The $1 million is split up into two halves, $500,000 for the installation of a methane-powered microturbines at the Sewer District's wastewater treatment plant. Now, I got a little study session on the way here about this. What this is these microturbines burn the methane that's in the wastewater treatment plant, and that the burning of that helps turn the turbines, which in turn provides more power to the treatment plant, so that it becomes net zero or even net positive. It can give energy back to the grid. So it's not only helping to save money on its energy cost, but actually reducing the cost of energy here throughout the town of Huntington. The second half of the $1 million, $500,000, is going to flood mitigation to make the sewer pipe better and longer here, so that we don't have as much flooding in the wastewater treatment plant as we've had before. And these investments are important not only for their very specific application here in the town of Huntington, but more long-term and big. We just had some big flooding here on Long Island. I know several of these folks here with me and the governor about a week ago in the town of Smithtown and Brookhaven, addressing some of the flooding issues, and we're eager to ensure that the state and federal government make the right investments to offset some of the costs that our constituents are bearing there. But this $1 million represents a greater investment. It represents a solidarity amongst officials from both parties to ensure that our constituents know that at all levels of government, be it a village government, town, state, or federal, that we are working together to ensure that we make life safer, more affordable, and our quality of life better. I want to pass the mic. You can applaud for that. That's okay. I want to pass the mic to my good friend Ed Smith, a fellow veteran, a Marine like my brother, who was serving the town of Huntington well, who was a strong advocate along with Sal Farrow to ensure that we got these funds to the town of Huntington. Now, these guys are always ensuring that we're in touch on these important matters. The details are hitting to paper so that when Congress passes appropriations bills, that our residents' needs are in them. So my good friend, Marine Corps veteran Ed Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Congressman LaLota. Pleasure having you here. It's even better when you bring a check for $1 million, but you're welcome anytime. I'd like to introduce a couple of my colleagues from the town, starting with Sal Farrow on the town board, Andrew Rea, right here, Andre Sorrentino, who I'll speak about in a moment, is instrumental in so many things that go on in the town of Huntington. It was mentioned earlier, and I'm going off script. I haven't even gotten to the script, so it's not going off script. But Andre, we had a lot of flooding on Long Island about 2 weeks ago, and the town of Huntington came through fairly well. And I give credit to Andre Sorrentino and his team at the Highway Department, because for the last year, it probably went unnoticed by the town, the residents, but not by us. They have done a tremendous amount of clearing of recharge basins and drainage and pipes and all the infrastructure that you don't see, that people do not see, they don't even think about. But Andre and his team think about it all the time, and they spent a tremendous amount of time clearing that. And as a result, we saw it 2 weeks ago when rains came. There was heavy flooding all over Long Island. Town of Huntington fared very well, and that's due to Andre and his team. So now I'll get to the script. Okay. But before that, I'll say thank you for a northerly breeze, because we have a sewage treatment plant across the street that I've done these press conferences here, and it's not always so pleasant. But I want to thank Congressman LaLota for his $1 million of infrastructure improvements. As a supervisor and chief financial officer of the town of Huntington, I'm always looking to my colleagues in government, both at the state and the county and the federal level, for infrastructure dollars, because right now what the town of Huntington needs is infrastructure. And as I've said for the last several years, we're in maintenance mode. And the reason for that is because when we do maintenance to our equipment, it extends the service life so that we're not buying new. And again, back to Andre demonstrated that by investing $30,000 in each of his trucks, he's able to extend the service life by 7 to 10 years instead of buying a new truck for $300,000. So that's the type of investment that we're looking for across the town. And with Congressman LaLota's help, we're doing the same thing at the sewage treatment plant, which again, where's John Clark? I know he's right here. John Clark doing a great job with his team at the sewage treatment plant. And by necessity, sewage treatment plants they're constructed in low-lying areas close to waterfront, and because the product flows downhill, doesn't it? So it's always on the waterfront. Most sewage treatment plants are, and we need to strengthen these facilities to prevent any damage from flooding or rising tides. And that's one of the things that the Congressman's financial help is going to help us do. This project is going to promote sustainable initiatives, promote energy efficiency, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It will also address the reduction of methane gas, which we heard about earlier in a micro turbine. It will reduce the methane gas into the atmosphere. It will utilize this energy source to defray the electricity costs and heating costs of the town sewage treatment plant. And I just want to finish by saying, on behalf of the town of Huntington, I want to thank Congressman Nick LaLota, my friend, and his colleagues in Congress for this financial support. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. I want to bring up a couple more of the elected officials here to provide their perspective on what this means for our common constituents. But I will tell you this before I pass the mic to Ed Romaine. This wouldn't happen without a collective, coherent focus on things that will make our quality of life better. This is a good team of elected officials beside and behind me who understands the needs of our common constituents and advocates properly for them. On the top of that list is our county executive, Ed Romaine, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. And the best speech I could give to the congressman is to say thank you. I heard the supervisor talk about the need for infrastructure and economy of scale and a whole host of things. That is true for all 10 towns in Suffolk County. Huntington is not unique. We need to rebuild our infrastructure. And one of the key things we need is making sure our sewage treatment plants are protected from flooding. Thank you, Congressman. And as energy efficient as possible using methane gas. And I see H2M over there. Give a wave. Thank you, because that will make the plant more efficient, more energy efficient, and make sure that that gas is used appropriately, used up, and not released to the atmosphere. Today is a win for the economy. It's a win for our ecology. It's a win for the environment. Thank you, Congressman. We need greater investment in our infrastructure throughout this county. And as county executive, I'm going to be working with our congressman, working with our state to drive as much federal and state funding as well as county funding to make sure that it's there for our 10 towns, starting with Huntington. So thank you, Supervisor and Congressman. Thank you for your leadership.
Thanks so much, Ed. It is truly a team effort with you at the helm. We appreciate that. Representing two huge towns in the county of Suffolk. My good friend, Senator Mary Matera, represents Huntington and Smithtown, Albany. Mary Matera, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give a great round of applause to this great man, our Congressman Nick LaLota. And you know what? You should be bringing that check right over here, to be honest with you, because I know Ed Smith is going to go right to the bank with that. Right? And that's what this man has done. He is proven already. We just had a press conference a couple of weeks ago in Smithtown. There's Main Street in Smithtown. We put it this way, dysfunctional with our situation right now with our sewer system. We have no sewers. Now we're finally moving forward into the 21st century. But now here in Huntington, to go into the sewage treatment plant, somebody that sits on Riker on Energy, somebody that sits there, we care about renewable energy. Guess what? Let's utilize that energy right now with our waste. And this is so important. But the biggest thing is right now is our infrastructure. We all know it is antiquated. It is antiquated and we need to fix it. Andre Sorrentino, the first phone call I made that Monday after that storm, I called him up and go, what do we need? What's going on? He goes, you know what? We weathered the storm. We're okay. I went to Northport, it's Smithtown and East End, Stony Brook. We got hammered. Our poor residents. Right now, they have no idea where they're going to be going. But our county executive, Ed Romaine, doing an amazing job. Round of applause to make sure we're working with the governor when the governor came out. Very important. Our congressman, we were all there saying, it's our time. Where is the money? We need, show us the money. Very much. And guess what? There's our congressman showing us the money. And we need more money. But you know what? Long Island, we deserve more. We deserve better. And right now, we need to make sure our infrastructure is up to par, which it isn't. And you know what? That shows that we need money. But the other thing is we have the tradespeople that are ready to go, the union tradespeople. They are there ready to go to work, just like what's happening with the dams, both of them to rebuild. And we are ready. We have the workforce, local jobs for local people. So that's so important. So, you know, I'm just so proud of you, Congressman. I know you're going to be bringing more money back because I know that's what you're doing. You're already proven. You're already shown what you've done. And I appreciate you so much. God bless everybody here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mario. There is more to come. And I promise that my staff and I are working quite hard on doing just that. There's also a saying that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? We've all heard that saying. And there's few squeakier wheels than Keith Brown, who is a constant advocate for our common consent. I say that in a good way. A constant advocate. He might send you a 3-page long email to make sure that you get his point too. But nevertheless, an awesome advocate for our common constituents from the New York State Assembly, Keith Brown.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you so much.
And I'm super appreciative of what's coming today with this funding because it was quite frankly unexpected, but it just shows you working collaboratively. You know, we have these phone calls, these coastal management calls or the harbor walk calls where we bring together all levels of government, the federal, the state, the county, the town, and the villages as it's represented up here. And it just goes to show you what we get done when we all work together. So thank you so much. We are looking for more money from Washington and from New York State. Mario and I constantly working with my chief of staff, Sue Broderick, trying to find any grant money that's out there. So thank you so much for all of this.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith. Back to the town. Sal Ferro, my good friend and awesome advocate, who has been part of several different projects we put together. Sal Ferro, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Nick. I just want to say on behalf of the town board, thank you, Nick. You've come through, been a friend from day one. We really appreciate you. I also want to say thank you to our Director of Environmental Waste, John Clark. John, you're doing a fantastic job, and one of the reasons this is happening is because of what you do there. So thank you, John, and Nick. Thank you. You're great.
Awesome, and it's a team effort, and a lot of thanks is being given to me, and I appreciate that. But I have an awesome staff with me as well, who ensures that the pen meets the paper in the right way, and that when it comes to actually presenting bills and voting on the bills, the details are there the right way. So I want to make sure that I thank my staff for their diligence in that. And one of the most important layers of government that we have here on Long Island is the village layer. I served as a village trustee for 6 years. To the extent it pays, and many villages don't pay at all. If it does pay, it doesn't pay that much. These folks are in it because they love their communities, and they specifically want to ensure that they remain awesome places. And such is the case with the village mayor, Mark Dara, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. I just got elected in July after the previous mayor was in for 30 years, and realized really how much was not being done. And Ed Smith actually swore me in, and the first thing he did is said, "I have to introduce you to all these people that are going to help your village." Our village has drainage that goes back to the 1800s, and it's just pouring water and waste into the bay. And Keith Brown sat with me for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours one day before I got the 3-page email. And said,
You had brown hair when I swore.
Yeah.
Did you get the 5-page follow-up?
I did.
All right.
So to come down here today, meet all these great people who are just here to do the right thing for the village. It might be a small village, but I think the village of Huntington Bay is one of the jewels of Huntington. And everybody has reached out and given me so much support and so much help. And I appreciate it. And I thank everyone who's here today. This is a new thing for me. So thanks very much.
Awesome. All right, thanks, man. We're going to take a couple quick questions, and we're going to take a photo afterwards. So does anybody else need to speak at all anymore? Anybody have a question? All right, you guys make it easy on us. Why don't we bring that big, nice check in here, and we'll all take a nice group photo.
Let's walk outside.
Yeah, we're going to walk in front of the podium. Ed's not going to let go of it now.
He's going to go out to the back and see if he can guess it.
You already did twice. Supervisor's already scanned the check and done electronic deposit. That works now.
Yep. All right, thanks so much, everybody.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
John McCarron already took it.
Good job, bro.
Great job, brother.
We'll do more.